Hi. Hi, this is Mary Albert with EIC, and I'm reporting on August 31st, our first day of the IMS Incline Middle School pilot program, our first real pilot of the Thrive Lab and Selfpreneur program. I have been up to 4 and 5 for the last 5 days, or maybe 4 days, because we have several things going on at the same time besides preparing for this launch. Seeking the Department of Education's approval for the use of our platform, the Gooru Stemuli platform, and at the same time negotiating the MOU, or the agreement, with the Stemuli Guru people to actually get our EIC Selfpreneur up there on that platform. So that's been all consuming. And the good news is that the Department of Ed does appear to be wanting to support us. We are helping them rewrite their checklist of vendor review of who they allow to, work for Nevada and who they endorse. And I basically rewrote their checklist to reflect a personalized, competency-based, metaversal way of student-directed learning. So hopefully we will make some inroads with that. I'm also getting Superintendent Summer Stevens from Churchill to endorse us and help me put this in front of the new superintendent of Washoe County so that we can get approval from the multiple counties, plus the woman, I'm still good, plus the Department of Education, so that we can have this triumvirate of support for what we're doing. So that's cool. Stemuli CEO Taylor Shedd is being flexible, even though it's been like 2 months I've been trying to get a contract with them. Part of the problem was we weren't able to raise the $10,000 that they were requiring for starting a platform on their platform, white label. So she agreed, though, to allow a flexible payment schedule so that we can prove the concept with our pilot and raise the money around that. And then IMS principal has been really supportive, and she came by the room. It turns out we got the whole dedicated use of the computer science room. So she came by yesterday after we had set up a bunch of our project boards and the equipment and the signage on the wall for the Thrive Lab, and she was like, "Oh wow, look what you've done in here, this is amazing." And then this afternoon, when we had our launch and the 20 kids were in the classroom, Kevin Edwards, the teacher classroom, she came by and she spoke and said, "We're excited for you guys to get this opportunity, so take advantage of it. You get to learn your own, whatever you want to develop your career." And so that set up a great stage for us. And so the way it unfolded today, I wanted to tell a story about the launch of the program. So the kids, basically, we did an intro in Kevin's room, set up what they're going to see in the Thrive Lab, and they're going to do a gallery walk, and they're going to see a lot of different projects and opportunities and information, and they're just basically looking to see what jumps out at them as interesting to work with. And so while they were doing that, 2 minutes per station with 2 kids, I was filming, and I was going up to some kids and asking what they had questions or interest in the areas, and I got some great footage of kids like learning that what the Selfpreneur was and what they could do, and they're like, "That's cool, I want to do that." And then at the VR station, lots of interest. One small boy, I think he's actually 8th grade, but Devin, I'm not using his real name, but I'll call him Devin. He was kind of shy and didn't seem to want to engage. But when I started asking his experience with VR and gaming, and he suddenly lit up, and he was sharing all the stuff that he wants to do with making one of those programs. Now I'm mind blocking, but he had ideas about how, he has a Quest 1 headset, and he's like, "Wow, you got Quest 2? Wow, you're lucky." And he talked about how he could make programs better and easier for people to use. So that was fun. Several other good conversations. And then when we went outside the building to do some self-reflection on our selfpreneur strengths, he was sitting off by himself. Well, everyone was by themselves, but he was crying. And I went over to talk to him, and he says, I want to be swimming. My whole body wants to swim, and I can't do this work because I'm sad that I didn't get to go take the swimming group. And I'm like, what happened? Well, my mom doesn't want me to take it because I swim at home in Sun Valley, and I leave at 4 a.m. to come up here to Incline because my mom's a bus driver, and she has to come here by 5:30. And he goes, and he's, emotionally distraught and angry and upset that he has to be in this class. And so we talked about those things, and I felt, expressed empathy, and that sounds terrible. But I know you have a lot of strengths on here. Do you want me to take notes and you just talk to me about it? And so he dictated, and we talked. And I said, and today when you were talking to me about VR, that was amazing. You have such great insights. You're obviously very smart about this, and you have good ideas. So, and so eventually he was telling me stories, and then he was circling the smiley faces about his strengths and his interests. And then on the back, it was all about, like, what do I want to do to be better in this area? And in the emotional area, he said, yeah, I probably need to figure out how to handle my disappointments, better. And, it was just like the most rewarding thing. But that wasn't the end, because as we were going to leave, he didn't want to go play Foursquare with the other kids. So I asked him to come with me to the office and do some stapling of the permission slips that we need to hand out. So we were talking down there as he's punching those things, and he shared some other things I won't say, but when we went outside, and he said, well, my mom's going to be coming with the bus, so I'm just going to hang out here. So I went back in, got done with Priya. We talked for a while. Then I left the building at like an hour later, went to go get food, and realized I'd left my handbag. So I went back at like 3:30, I think it was, and then the kids had been gone since 2. And when I came out of the building with my handbag, I saw him sitting on a rock across the way. I said, Devin, you're still here? Where's your mom? And she goes, oh, and he looks over, and she's driving in. The bus is driving in. I'm like, oh, cool. Do you mind if I talk to your mom? And so he's like, no, it's okay. And so we went over, talked to her. She's a lovely woman, Catherine. And we were talking about her driving an hour each way with Devin. And she said, well, he would normally walk to the local middle school in Sun Valley, but there's 1,500 kids there. And she worries about him being so bright that he's going to be left behind and ignored. And so she got permission from Carrie Michael to have him come up to attend this school with 160 kids. And so he was a little torn about that because he hasn't made that many friends. He has such a clever mind that he's a bit beyond the kids in this program. But we talked about his gifts and interests in the VR. And suddenly he's dreaming up stuff right there. It's like, well, what if we did a digital double of the height of the school, and then we could have kids from anywhere working on projects together? I'm like, that's exactly what I'm thinking. And so he's getting excited now. He could be my little intern as we do VR design. So I'm just going to wrap this story to say it was awesome. And one final thing, I talked to Laura Watson afterwards, and we came to some nice consensus about how we're going to tie in the Selfpreneur and the Thrive Labs, the different kinds of Thrive Centers like hers that are membership based, and then others that are like library based, and others that are community college based, but all depend on that Gooru Stemuli platform, accessing the information and the ways of collaborating across space time with kids anywhere and different age groups, like this 11-year-old boy this today. So I'm excited, and I should feel more sleep deprived right now, but I'm too excited by the possibilities that are unfolding for this. So thanks for listening, and keep fingers crossed that we can get the Stemuli Guru platform contract approved at ASAP and get going on it for benefit of all the kids. Thanks.